100 feet below the surface, in the deep waters around Bali's Nusa Penida island, the ocean floor appears void of life. But at night, these rubble-covered slopes are the hunting grounds for predators that emerge from deeper water to feed, and some of them are absolutely enormous. I'm dropping cameras into the deep ocean all around the globe in search of a species new to science. We've already recorded perhaps the first footage of at least 3 species alive in the wild, 2 of them in the deep ocean around Nusa Penida island. But that was during the day. Nobody knows what patrols these slopes at night. Okay, camera is rolling and big bright light is on. Carabiner looks good. 3, 2, 1, and she goes! How do the creatures that live here behave after dark? And is there even anything left to discover? Around this island, even in the deep, strong currents help spread the scent across the slope. For some predators, this is the signal their nose has been sniffing around for in the darkness, and they act with urgency. This small shark is a species of spurdog. These predators were present on both nights of filming, relentless in their pursuit of food. You can see that, unlike many fast-striking sharks, spurdogs don't have a nictitating membrane, a protective eyelid that closes over the eye during feeding. The absence of this protective mechanism likely reflects their lower-risk feeding strategy, and the fact that, in deep water and at night, they rely far more on smell and vibration than on vision alone. Now, at first glance, this species of deep-water shark looks very similar to the western highfin spurdogs we recorded at these depths before. Both sharks are clearly spurdogs, with venom-tipped spines in front of their dorsal fins. But this is actually a different species, one we've never recorded in the day, that's traded high fins for a very long nose. It also has dusky tips to its fins, with flanks that are more pink and brown than silver or grey. In the spirit of scientific originality and pointing out insecurities, this rare deep-sea shark was named the western longnose spurdog. It's likely that these sharks favour deeper, colder water during the day, only rising up the slope at night to feed, part of a process known as the diel vertical migration, the largest daily migration on Earth. This is likely some of the first footage of this nasally gifted shark alive in the wild. But why are there so many rare deep-water species here? Well, Nusa Penida's shallow waters are constantly flushed by cold, nutrient-rich upwellings and strong through-flows from the Pacific Ocean that provide the perfect conditions for enormous hard coral-covered reefs. These ecosystems attract small fish, crustaceans, and mollusks, but attract bigger fish and even bigger fish. In fact, the biggest fish in our oceans are regularly found here. But does the immense diversity at the surface extend into the seemingly barren depths? And what else is there to discover? On the topic of new discoveries, it wasn't long until a familiar shape emerged out of the shadows. This is Myleobatis hamlini, a ray named after its purple coloration, the purple eagle ray. These rays, like most, have a mouth situated on the underside of their bodies, an adaptation that enables them to dig around or jet water into the sand in search of small crustaceans or fish to feed on. For the small squat lobsters scavenging amongst the rubble, a feeding purple eagle ray hovering close by is a good reason to scurry for cover. These rays are also capable of buccal pumping, contracting their mouth and cheek muscles to flush oxygenated water over their gills. It's possible by orientating itself head-on into the current. The fast-moving water makes this process more efficient. However, marine life doesn't have the luxury of patience and rest. Food is hard to come by in the deep and attracts a wide variety of life. Some, like this red gurnard, walk slowly over the sand. Others are a little more energized. Interestingly, this red gurnard was one of the only bony fishes to appear on these drops at night. Why? The abundance of sharks may be part of the explanation, but it raises a more interesting question. Why is the gurnard able to persist here at all? Now, gurnards have a couple of very interesting adaptations. Like a number of marine fishes, evolution has gifted them with a pair of modified pectoral fins. These fins are complete with several free-moving rays that act as fingers, enabling them to stealthily walk across the ocean floor in search of food, creeping close before lunging when in range. Its effectiveness is evidenced by the diversity of species that have adopted it, including shallower water fishes like devilfish and stingfish. But their fin adaptations don't stop there. Gurnards can also deploy the remainder of their pectoral fins into large, colourful fans. The primary purpose of this adaptation is likely to startle and intimidate predators. These enormous colourful fins make the gurnard appear much larger than it actually is, perhaps dissuading curious predators from attempting to eat it. And there are predators everywhere. This is the Indonesian wobbegong, a bottom-dwelling carpet shark that is a rare sighting in the shallows. These sharks are ambush predators, resting patiently on the ocean floor and armed with frilly appendages that disguise their mouth and perhaps lure food closer. They also boast some of the most advanced camouflage in the animal kingdom, although when illuminated by our lights, their disguise is clearly less effective. It's incredibly interesting to watch the gurnard's behaviour change when face to face with a predator. It swaps slow, deliberate walking for fast, erratic swimming. With fins outstretched, it's likely trying to deter the wobbegong. Perhaps its agitation also signals to other gurnards that danger is close by. What do you think? Regardless of the reason, the wobbegong certainly seemed deterred. Sightings of such rare and undescribed species at 600 feet serve as clear evidence that ocean protection can't just happen at the surface. It must also extend to the deep. But protecting ecosystems we barely understand is difficult. And as individuals, what can we realistically do about it? And that question, guys, is why I have recently become a member of... wait for it. Planet Wild. So Planet Wild is a nature protection organisation with over 20,000 members worldwide that support a new carefully selected conservation mission each month. The community supports efforts to bring back endangered species, restore forests, and most importantly, to me at least, protect our oceans. And the best part is that all of their efforts are documented here on YouTube, so we can see exactly what our contributions have helped achieve. With a membership, your money goes towards a huge variety of missions, from tackling ocean plastic in India to restoring cat shark populations in Malta and understanding and protecting whales better. Now, believe it or not, guys, I do sometimes have some non-ocean related obsessions as well, so I'm actually a certified bird ringer in the UK and was delighted to see that Planet Wild has also helped to restore my favourite owl, the little owl, throughout Europe. You can obviously give whatever amount feels comfortable and cancel at any time. I've also got a special gift to share with you, so the first 100 people that sign up using this code here, Barny3, will get their first month paid for, so you can try it for free. If you want to get started, guys, just scan the QR code that's here, or you can visit the link that's in the description. And if you want to see them in action, I strongly recommend you go and check out their mission fighting ocean plastic in India. Now, the difficulty with conserving and protecting life in the deep is that without a physical specimen, many species are very difficult to definitively identify. A lot of deep-sea sharks have barely ever been seen alive, and the next creature that showed up is no exception. This is a hound shark, the same species that eluded us during the day. Luckily, its nocturnal confidence enabled us to get a closer look. The colour and morphology of this shark suggests that it belongs to the Mustelus genus, containing 27 known species. But what species exactly, I'm not sure. Whilst on the first drop, this species was more hesitant, on the second, after some time, it plucked up the courage to feed, revealing some clues about what it might be, albeit at the expense of the large shrimp feeding on top of the cage. This shark has a long, slender, elongated body. It's probably about a metre long. There are no obvious markings on its flanks, with the dorsal fins being a similar colour to the body. The second dorsal fin appears to have a darker tip. In addition, like all hound sharks, this species has a heterocircle tail, a design that helps generate speed and lift to counteract sinking, a good adaptation for a shark that feeds near the bottom. These characteristics match a number of different mustelus species, but if you look a bit closer and wait for the light to hit the shark's flank just right, a pattern of small white spots emerges. These spots point towards this individual being Mustelus stevensi, the western spotted gummy shark. Gummy sharks are a group of sharks that have traded sharp pointed teeth for flat gum-like plates. As seems to be the case with everything that shows up down here, this is likely some of the first footage of this species alive in the deep waters of Indonesia. And by the way guys, I have recently, hang on, let me just get the angle, oh, that's not the right angle. I've recently launched a Patreon, which is primarily for those of you that want to see all the raw and uncut footage before it goes live here on YouTube. It's also a place to learn from other people that watch the videos, and if you're up for torturing yourself, you can also help us ID all the weird stuff we're finding in the deep, which is a massive challenge. We've already got a really good little community of people on there, and we had a load of fun IDing all these spurdogs and other weird sharks, including the next one that showed up. The western highfin spurdogs were much more active at night, frenzying in small groups. As before, they were clearly relying too heavily on their smell and lateral lines whilst trying to track down the bait. Whilst these sharks have very large eyes, it appears they decide not to use them for the most part. Unlike in the day, smaller individuals also appeared. Perhaps coincidence, or perhaps they feel more confident feeding at night. This individual appears to have a large circular wound near its gills. Could this be from a rival spurdog, or could it be the work of the infamous cookie cutter shark? The sheer abundance of both the western highfin and the longnose spurdogs made them feel almost common. However, it's important to remain vigilant, for occasionally an imposter hides amongst the crowd. This is also a spurdog, armed with spines, but this individual dwarfs the smaller, more populous species. This appears to be Squalus montalbani, the Philippine spurdog. Like many larger marine species, this individual has also picked up a hitchhiker, a parasitic isopod. Isopods are crustaceans that can sometimes bite down on the flanks of sharks to feed on their blood, tissues, and mucus. Many also scavenge and are regularly attracted to both light and food in the deep. This swarm of life is likely made up of isopods, as well as other planktonic crustaceans. Planktonic critters are those that are at the mercy of ocean currents. Larger crustaceans like these shrimps have greater autonomy as to where they end up. Kind of. Now, whilst analysing what shows up is of course fascinating, sometimes the absence of life is equally as interesting. When dropping these cameras elsewhere in Indonesia, one of the most common groups of visitors are the eels. Conger eels, snake eels, and of course, moray eels. Many of these species hunt at night, hiding in rocky crevices during the day. In the deep around Nusa Penida though, eels seem absent. Why? Perhaps the lack of suitable hiding spots makes these areas inaccessible. Or given they're not the fastest or most accurate fishes in the ocean, I just need to be a little bit more patient. After some discussion with colleagues, I've received mixed views on what species this eel is. It's been suggested this is Gymnothorax prionodon, the Australian mottled moray. But this is a shallower water species recorded around Australia and New Zealand. There are also reports of this species hybridizing with Gymnothorax kidako, the kidako moray. I'm not sure if this is one of these two species, a hybrid, or something undescribed and new to science. I suspect, due to low habitat availability, moray eels are sparsely populated in these deeper waters. It's possible that this individual's nose had persuaded it to make the long voyage across the seabed. Unfortunately for it though, it not only had to deal with competition from a now very confident western spotted gummy shark, but time was up.
And 1, 2,
moray could do nothing but watch as the meal it had worked so hard to find disappeared up into the darkness. But whilst the moray, spurdogs and hound sharks are difficult to identify, there's one creature that patrols these reefs at night that's unmistakable, an animal I've been trying to record for years. Whilst it took the moray several hours to find the bait, this creature found it in minutes. This is a bluntnose sixgill shark, an ancient, mysterious and enormous deep-sea predator that exists outside of our world. A true sentinel of the deep. But what else is there to discover in the deep waters around Nusa Penida Island? Well, I guess the next obvious step is to send down the night vision camera to find out. Guys, a quick reminder that if you want to try Planet Wild for free for a month, head to the link in the description to get started. Or if you want to learn more about their projects you can help fund, like fighting ocean plastic in India, you can find their video updates here on YouTube. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button, or check out what else we found in the deep.